This conference will now be recorded.
Nice. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. You're gonna have to bear with me. Vicky's not here, so I'm sure I'm gonna screw up a lot. So. Anyways, let's start off then with the approval of minutes from the regular meeting, April 14th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve the April 14th, 2026 meeting minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Does anyone have any announcements? I have one. The RDC will host a presentation for all taxing entities impacted by the TIF district on May 20th, 2026 at 6 p.m. here in the municipal building. Okay, no other announcements. Anybody have anything for open discussion?
I only have, the ARC and I are doing the Goodwill truck on May 9th from 9 a.m. until noon or when full.
Anyone else have anything for open discussion? Okay, let's move on to fire.
You should have received my monthly reports. I don't think there was anything that should have jumped out at you guys. And then, I don't know, maybe I'm taking Carol's thunder, but requesting approval of the fire pay for the first half of the 2026 year. Well, kind of an odd time frame, but it's the end of our first period. And I will tell you that I was a little nervous when we went to stipends away from hours because I really had no idea how it would come out. And it came out almost equal to what it normally did. So that was a little bit of a relief to me that it didn't come out higher. And I'm glad it didn't come out lower either. But it didn't come out any higher that I worried about the second half. So.
Well, that's good to hear, because I was worried about that too.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, hey, that all worked out
Yeah.
amazingly so.
Means you did a good job with.
Exactly. Well, we guessed, right? We kind of put some numbers together.
Thank you.
Carol, we need a motion to approve the fire pay.
I move to approve the fire pay for the first, October 25 through March of 26.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
moving on to police. Scott.
Yeah, hopefully everybody got a report that they could open. I see Daryl didn't, Chris didn't, and Carol couldn't print hers, so it must have been a real good send. So I sent it twice, and it still didn't go completely through. So I did print one for Vicky, but nothing really outstanding on the report. I do want to mention the 4th through the 17th. Albion will probably cease moving on Orange Street because that's when we'll be doing our full depth construction. There are detours that will be set up by the state, which go around on 33, 6, and 3. And then there will also be county detours. That's 400 North, 150 East, and somehow to Weber Road on 7th Street, I believe, is where they're going to put it. And then there'll be local detours, but that's not going to be a whole lot of signage. But you will not be able to cross Hazel intersection or Jefferson intersection or the stoplight. So you'll have to work your way around to get from the east side to the west side.
They were blocking traffic today too.
But they still are because they're still doing the basins, the grates.
Is that what they're doing, is all the storm?
All the storm
taking all
they're
the storm
doing, and
stuff
they're
out.
cementing today. The ones they've already dug up, they got them all cemented. They've got a couple, they're having difficulty. I did meet with them on Thursday of last week. That was our final meeting before this thing starts. And they were having difficulties with a couple of the structures. and they're both down there by the railroad tracks. They can't get the water out of them. They drain it out and it comes right back in from farther down the road. So they're gonna have to try to figure out how to get those dry enough to dig out down just south of the tracks. I mean, just barely south of the tracks where it's always backing up, or when it rains heavy, it backs up there. So they're still working on those. Those will probably be the last two. And we discussed, they talked about going door to door downtown, letting the, this week, let the businesses know what's going on. Businesses will be hampered by this construction, some, but we're trying to get parking available for each of the businesses to still remain open and have customers coming in and out. So it will be a little congested or a lot congested, but we're trying to make sure that everybody, it's as easy as possible for everybody. Providing the weather goes well, they should be back up to surface level by the 17th, the way it sounds. So 4th through the 7th, be expecting major blockage there across Orange Street. So, is there anything else, Steve, on that I might have missed?
No, Scott covered us and did a good job in explaining all the developments. Thank you.
Yeah, they missed a couple of possible detour signs, so we got those squared away to make sure that, and also I encourage you guys, whoever, if there's holes that develop during this, where traffic's getting through or causing problems, let them know, and we will bring more signage in. They're trying to catch alleys, they're trying to catch every possible to keep that area safe. So there are going to be 2 crosswalks.
They'll be cutting there where I live.
Right, they'll be cutting just south of you, yeah.
Yeah, and they do at school time.
Yeah, but there's going to be a crosswalk just south of your residence there on 9, cross 9. There will be just south of Hazel. I saw them measuring it maybe Monday. Saw them measuring there, and there will also be one handicap to get across the construction zone. Those, I think they were doing work on something and they had those ramps. That's what they considered their ADA crossing, is those ramps they put down next to the curb. Get any accessible chairs up and over the curb. So that's going to be our sword to bear for a while with traffic. And if you see anything on your report, if you have any questions on, let me know. I can try to answer them.
I opened yours on my computer at work, but I can't open the one on my iPad, but I already read it at work.
Okay. So you did get a clean one then? Because I know you got a bad one.
I did. I can't open either one of these in my iPad though. But
That still baffles me why some of them could and some of you couldn't.
I know, and you sent me one, and the second one I could look at.
And they were the same
And they were
send. I have no idea.
One says 2.3 megabytes, and the other one says 1.4 megabytes. So really strange.
That's bizarre. I still can't figure it out, but I got a couple other avenues to go to make sure that they're clean sends. Might just be my machine too, I don't know. All right, anything else? I'll be glad to field it. Otherwise, that's it for me pretty much.
I had a question on the police booth speaker scenario.
Oh, yes.
Is there anything we can do to help support that so it's in good working order before the parade? And
It's currently in good working order with the work they did to rewire
okay,
the speakers themselves. The problem is the speakers are getting old. They're apparently built with some sort of an epoxy around the cone to keep them weatherproof.
okay,
Over time, that epoxy starts breaking off in little chunks, and that's what's causing the ohms to drop because the resistance isn't there anymore. So as long as we've got some ohms, they say they should work, and we're down to really low, but we're still playing. So we got what we got at this point.
I was just wondering with the 250th celebration coming up, if we were using that, there might be some grant opportunities or some local.
Yeah, I've never heard of any grant
Funding.
opportunities for downtown sound system, but
Yeah, I don't know.
there might be.
How much do you think new speakers would be? Do you even have it?
Yeah, they're about 1,300, around 1,300 a piece,
Times
8 just for the speakers. And everything else is 2008 vintage. So it's getting older technology involved too, but the speakers seem to be what we isolated as the main problem. But he did bring those ohms up by changing it from serial, which is, I think serial, how it was originally wired, to parallel, which will bring the ohms up just by the way, or vice versa, I'm not sure. Just by the way it'll be wired, it brings the ohms up to where the amp will put out more power.
Yeah.
More ohms, more power, basically is how it describes, so. And as I said in my report, I think the speakers are right at 3 ohms. They're supposed to carry 25 ohms, so that's how low they're becoming, 3 to 6 ohms. So that's something we'll have to do if we want to keep up that sound system. If we want to go a different direction with just a couple power speakers, we could, which would require minimal setup, like in the stage area for Christmas parade, Channel Lakes parade. But you won't get the full coverage around the courthouse. You'll just get kind of a directional coverage. Loud enough, for sure, you don't want to stand in front of them, but you're only going to be broadcasting in one direction. So where we are, I just wanted to let you know so I don't surprise you.
What was it, 2008, Scott?
2008, they went in with the T21 project. That's how we can pull wires and stuff, because we laid conduit to each pole in forethought instead of why'd we do this in afterthought. So does that answer your question, Abby?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if we went up there and re-epoxy?
I don't think that's possible because of the age of the cones. The cones are that flexible. When you look at a speaker, how they bounce, that's the cone I'm referring to, is that bouncy part.
I got you.
And the more they bounce, the more they chip off, flake off. It's just the nature of the beast when they get older, and they're also exposed to weather all the time. We never pull them down. And then we do have a Frontier bill finally figured out. I think I might have put that in my the IT report part. We do have that pretty much figured out. There's still one area yet, but it looks like there's a huge savings per month. I don't have an actual number yet, but the number that we did pay was our normal bill. And then this month, with all the credits and everything that I've been working with Frontier on, I think we're down to $91 for our main 3 lines combined. So I think it'll work out for us. It's a tough time getting there because we started this in November, but I think we're there or really, really close. So pretty good money savings, and we've really lost nothing when it comes to service. Just changed to digital. So that's it for me.
Anybody else have any other questions for Scott?
Thank you very much.
Town manager report, Steve.
Okay, thank you, Zane. Real briefly, you've got my report electronically. I think it was the last meeting ago where we were entertained, the council put together a counter proposal for the housing development being proposed by Keith Leatherman and Bob Parrish of Rolling River Bluff subdivision. And so I inked that counter proposal and we placed that in his hands, and we're still waiting to hear from him as to that. Then all of the, we had 6 CF1 tax abatement requests from 4 different companies in town. All of those were filed successfully and the businesses informed. They were also informed of a slightly different process that would occur next year. And then we had a couple of meetings. One was with Zane and Vicky and myself. And then the second meeting was with the hiring committee, Vicky and Chris and myself, all about the town manager recruitment process. And we made some really good strides. And we will be presenting that at the next meeting of this council on May 12th. And it's going in a, we think, a real positive direction. So we're excited about that. And then finally, just a couple of interesting permits. One was the Central Noble Schools, their bus garage is, has been permitted, and I don't know the status. I'm assuming they've broken ground in some capacity, but that's going forward. And then secondly, Black Pines Animal Sanctuary, they're proceeding with an entrance sign, a building sign, and some different wayfinding signs. And they hired a company, and they really came up with a nice design, so that should be a very nice improvement, visually. They actually had another company too doing a visual sign improvement, that Autumn Hills Apartments. They hired the same company actually, and they have a nice design as well. So it's kind of interesting, when these signs go up. I mean, generally the business is doing a good job trying to make it attractive for their business, and this is a good look for the community as well. That's all I have.
Anybody have any questions for Steve?
We also, on the town manager recruitment, where we're putting together a timeline of, so you'll have, before the meeting, you'll have the revised job description, you'll have a timeline, and we're moving forward.
And
from
the
there.
ad as well, an advertisement,
Yeah,
all draft kinds of.
all draft stuff. We're not putting anything out until the council approves.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Okay, any old business out there that we need to attend to?
I was made aware of the DNR reopening some grant opportunities that might apply to the old town hall. So I wanted to add to the agenda the next time, the idea of creating an ad hoc committee to explore that.
Carol, can you include that in the agenda for the next meeting?
Yes.
Thank you. Anybody else with old business? Okay, let's move on to new business. We have 3 special event applications. We've got the Star Team, the summer kickoff, Albion Monopoly, May 29th. We have the Chain Lakes Festival, June 6th, and then we have the Albion Fire Auxiliary. I think the Albion Fire Auxiliary is the only new one that we haven't had in the past. All 3 of these have been signed off by all the department heads, the town manager. There's a couple of them that the insurance isn't going to be in yet because it's a little bit far away from the date. And then also with the Albion Fire Auxiliary, they're also getting an alcohol permit, so Scott will have to sign off on that. So you guys have any questions for any of the people that are here? I believe Eric and his crew's back there for the Chain Lakes Festival, Lori's with the Star Team, and the Albion Fire Auxiliary. Would that be you?
I'll speak for him, yeah.
Okay, if there's any questions.
I want to know if on the Albion Fire Auxiliary Fire Department Block Party, if we would be liable for if something should happen due to the alcohol.
I don't know what you're doing, so.
Okay, well, let's let Bob explain.
Yeah, so,
There you go.
in a nutshell, we're copying from the Auburn Fire Department. They have a block party. And we all went there last year and kind of saw how it went, thought it looked pretty simple. So we wanted to do one here. So, besides the band and everything, you want to talk about the alcohol. So
I only want to talk about the liability, like when the Star Team does an event and they have alcohol, that, we're not on the hook for that.
Yep.
Are you with me? Because they're on the hook for that.
We're not on the hook for that either. It's the person that gets the permit from the state to serve the alcohol that's on the
Right,
hook.
who's getting the permit?
Ale House.
Okay,
Guess we're,
but does that make him liable then?
To a certain point, in my opinion, because of the alcohol, but if we're talking trip and fall and all that stuff, that's a different direction.
I'm talking about alcohol liability.
As long as it's like Lori said, as long as it's I just lost the term. What is he?
State license.
Yeah, it's a state license, but a catering license, as long as it's a catering, alcohol catering license, that alcohol stuff, and Kurt can correct me on it, but to my understanding, the alcohol related stuff will go back to the caterer based on their serving, their 21-year-old area, all that stuff, basically is theirs. Now, I'm not an attorney, but that's the way it's been, that's explained to me by the caterers that we use around town, which is a couple of different
I
ones.
just want to make sure.
They name you as an additional insured, which is what we would always require.
I've never seen an additional insured. The only one that's usually on our application, is just one insurer.
Okay.
Generally.
We went out and purchased, the Albion Fire Auxiliary, went out and purchased a liability insurance package. I don't know if we're talking apples to apples.
Of course, what I would see would be somebody naming us, meaning the town of Albion, as an additional insured, whether it's the auxiliary, the caterer, both, if you wanted to have coverage for the alcohol-related events. All the trip and fall, negligence issues, we got our own coverage for that already, presumably, because it's gonna happen on town property, I'm guessing,
Or county.
yeah, we don't care about
I care enough to get permission from the county, so.
Here,
Right.
So, at least Chris's question. So, of course, you're liable if something goes wrong. They're gonna sue everybody, so you have to decide is it worth the risk, and what can you do to lessen the risk? That would be done through additional insured policies, that type of thing. And it would be done by making sure you have responsible caterers that are not gonna allow knowingly intoxicated people to be served, which is where you get in dram shop liability, et cetera, for.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had like an issue or anything, because I don't think the event's usually long enough
Right.
for that. But I just, all I'm doing is my due diligence and making sure that,
And I think we've tried to do our due diligence and look at everything that was tied up or loose ends that needed tied up. I think we've tracked them all down, including the county. The county wanted their name on our insurance as well because we'll be using the courthouse lawn. So we went back and added them on.
yeah, just like the festival, when I ran that for 25 years, any vendor or whatever that had the insurance had to list the Chain Lakes Festival as an additional insured, because that covered us. And we did have
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
trip and falls and all out fist fights.
I will tell you that, we understand that, we haven't got it worked out with Scott yet, but we know that we are gonna be paying for security, police officer security. We will make sure that we don't see an overindulgence and stuff like that. So we want this to be a fun family.
What's the time on the block party?
6 to 10 is the music. We plan on having hopefully everything cleaned up and streets open by 11. We'll probably close the streets down earlier than that, just so we can get
Set up.
set up. Yep.
Yeah, I understand.
So would we need to see a copy of the ale house's insurance? And because you've provided the auxiliaries insurance, but if they're liable for that piece of it,
Would it be with their license?
It should be with their license, I believe, when
I just
when they
think-
present it to me.
And I think,
I think.
and I think I need to ask Carol, when I came back in, there might have been a note on there saying that it looks like his license expires like a week before the event, so I'll get you a fresh copy of their license. I'm not gonna go ask him to renew it now, because, it will probably end in 12 months, but,
We generally don't get the permit in front of me and except for maybe a week in advance, maybe at the most, it may be a couple days.
and,
In advance.
a few things that, being the first time is going through the permit application, and his license is, we have to have a fenced off area. So that it's ID checked, and, that's just stuff we're learning, when we do it, but, I think it should all be in that application. A really pretty map.
To get the town listed as additional insured, is it something that maybe a motion would be accompanied with the permit?
If you want to condition the permit on that, absolutely, then the question would be how much, right? So, we always recommend a minimum of 2 million. I have no idea how much either of these people are getting. The license doesn't require that much. So it's up to you how much coverage you want. But nowadays, $2 million is nothing in a situation where somebody is served that's a minor, knowingly intoxicated, they pull out a gun, they do something this or that, we live in a ridiculous society now. So, I would want to see a certificate of insurance naming the town as additional insured from the vendor, from the auxiliary, $2 million minimum. That's up to you. And that would be a condition of their motion, if they wanted to add that. It'll add complexity and some degree of frustration in getting those things, but yeah. That's up to you. One of those questions you don't want to ask if you don't want to know the answer.
But let's do, you guys wanna just do one at a time, or what?
That's fine.
I'm gonna move to approve the Star Team Summer Kickoff Albianopoly on May 29th.
Have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm gonna move to approve the Channel Lakes Festival, including the Noble 5K and 10K on, it says June 6th, but it's a span of time.
Yeah.
I just had a question on the race. Is it it's covered through their policy and named through your policy? Okay.
Do we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, lastly, the Albion Fire Auxiliary Fire Department Block Party.
I don't know how you wanna word that, Abby, but I'm with you on the additional insured.
I'm not comfortable stipulating how much they have to add, I think we need to find out
I
if they,
think 1 million
if they have it.
policy with a 2 million aggregate is standard.
I think if you look, if I know what you're talking about, I think it's 1 million.
But you have a 2 million aggregate.
Yeah.
Right, and that's a standard policy.
We simply, when the county said, we want to be named in that, we just simply went back and had them named.
Right.
Is that what you guys would like?
It's a document that,
It's like that form came back, filled out exactly the same, and it'll say Noble County Commissioners and Town of Albion. I have no problem. I can walk right up to Black and Raymond and get that done if that's what you want.
Is that what we
but
want?
It's a
that,
certificate of insurability.
Right,
Is that what?
it's like this,
That's it,
certificate
right
of
there.
insurance. liability.
Absolutely.
but that's,
Make sure the
that
numbers
is
are
with
right.
the auxiliary,
This
but
is
you
the
also
Albion
need to
Fire
have it
Auxiliary.
added on the ale house. They would need to add it to theirs in order to cover us from the alcohol and the liability for that part of it.
And we don't have a form from him, a certificate of liability form from the vendor.
Some vendors don't have insurance due to this issue. So you'll find out right away when you ask.
Do you know Kurt? I knew at one time he was talking that they are now, was it something like a $5,000 insurance policy they had to have for their liquor license, and like, is it
Insurance for liquor caterers and three-way liquor license, beer, wine, liquor are really expensive. So a lot of bars, restaurants, caterers have just opted not to have it. And they put themselves in an LLC so that if something goes wrong, they just tube the LLC, go through bankruptcy, and be done and start a new one. That is the way of the world for a lot of vendors. I'm not suggesting that is the situation with whoever you're using, but you'll know quickly if they are or not when you ask this question.
I firmly believe that he paid it because he was
Good.
talking about,
Then that's a good vendor, and that's somebody that will be able to provide this insurance easily.
I just need guidance on what to go and ask Chad.
You want the same kind of thing, but from the vendor,
With the town of Albion
yes,
listed.
As an additional insured.
if that's what they want.
Sounds like it. Yeah. We got time, right?
Because that'll get you the alcohol coverage issues. not just the Sleeping Falls and the other.
So my question, I guess, is this the first time that you guys can think that you have an application utilizing uptown that you had liquor or alcohol?
No,
Our team's done it.
yeah, when you had the
Block
cornhole, right?
We've done it 2 or 3 times.
Was Chad,
No, I don't think we've
No,
ever
we
used
used Doug
Chad.
Eby, but I just, if you don't mind, I'll just comment to Bob. Doug Eby's license was always in that same time frame, and he would have the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission issue him just what they call a provisional
Mhm.
permit, so that we still could meet the requirements of the town. But no, we've done this several times.
Right, but this is the first time one of our departments wanted to
Yeah.
do this.
Right.
Are you understanding where I'm coming from? Okay, this isn't the Star Team or the Chain
Well,
Lights Festival.
but
This
it's-
is the fire
This
department.
isn't your department. This is the auxiliary. These are the members.
Right,
I get it, and I don't want to split hairs, and I'm more than willing to go back and do all the legwork. I just don't want you to think that it's the Albion Fire Department that's doing this. It's the members who have built themselves an organization, you know.
and they're gonna wanna protect themselves just as much.
And I think
as-
I thought we had,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
with going out and getting the insurance and
Yeah.
everything.
I think you did for the county.
Yeah.
And
I didn't see it, I've never seen it, but from what I can see Chris scrolling through, it looks like you've obtained a certificate of insurance for some amount, for some coverage, and apparently named the county.
here, I just like.
I thought
look
the
at it,
town
it's
was
just one
listed as
page.
well.
I don't screw it up for
Just a, use your finger.
you. So the insured is the auxiliary, it's a 501c3, looks like a corporation through Erie. Like you said, it's 1 million, 2 million. And it may, I haven't got it right now, so.
The town of Albion's at the very bottom. But I don't see the county on there.
It's, Town of Albion is not named as the insured there.
No, that-
From what I can.
That's just the address, isn't it, at the bottom?
Yes, I believe so. So, you're right, the insurance agent, Black and Raymer, can probably for, I'm guessing, I'm surprised if it's an additional fee, maybe it is.
They never charge me.
I would think that just to add the town of Albion and take care of the front. The auxiliary, that's the applicant, on the, I haven't seen that, that's the applicant, so that could take care of that probably easily, Bob. The other one, I'm not so sure how easy that's gonna be, and whether you've done it in the past or not, is really up to you guys to decide if you wanna treat it differently or not.
The caterer.
It says certificate holders, the town of Albion.
But that is not additional insurance.
That is not your.
Not to me, anyway. You're right.
It does not
Well,
say that.
if I understand correctly, you're asking for the same thing that the county commissioner asked.
I don't know what they asked for, but it sounds.
Well,
But we're asking
I
for it
think-
from the vendor.
from what you're telling me, what they said was, we want to be on that insurance.
That's exactly what I'm suggesting, that
And I walked right over there, and within a half hour, they had it done.
that should be easy.
Yeah.
From the auxiliary's perspective,
Right.
not maybe so from the other.
So table it?
I think you can approve it subject to if you want, that's up to you guys. But
Chris, Abby, so do you guys want to make a motion?
I move that we approve the Albion Fire Auxiliary Fire Department block party on September 12th, contingent on adequate insurance from the caterer/alcohol provider.
And
And the
Naming,
And
and
the
the
auxiliary.
auxiliary naming the town as an additional insured.
second,
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Opposed?
I'm not trying to be a pain. in the
No.
butt.
Hey, we want to do this for a long time.
Right.
We just get iron it all out.
I've been having a run of bad luck here lately, and I just.
Well,
just
so is somebody on
covered
South
every
Street,
base.
so I'm gonna Google it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, let's move on to new business item number 2, the repeal of Robert's Rule of Order, ordinance number 2026-06, for the second reading.
I would like to make a motion to move the second reading of this ordinance to to the next meeting. Table.
Okay.
A motion, do we have a second?
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, last new business item would be the approval of the burial rights, formerly known as the cemetery deed. This is for Jay McCormick. And it looks like it's burial lot number 167 in section M, grades 1 and 2.
move to approve.
Motion in a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, approval of accounts payable and payroll vouchers, April 16th and April 28th, 2026. I'd entertain a motion.
I move we approve.
A motion
I'll second.
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Is there any other business that needs to be brought before the council? No? Okay,
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second.
a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Excellent.